All right, welcome back to another episode of Past the Present podcast. I'm your host, Alan the Great. We're here with a very, very special guest. Somebody I've been trying to get on the show for at least 2 years, but we finally got her today, live on Zoom. This is the only way I was going to get her. And we're here talking about the state of the culture. What is going on in our world? Miss Labrina, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Thank
But
you.
thank you for having us on the show, I guess you could say. Kayon, let me
Thank you for coming on. Thanks for coming on. Hey, little guy, how you doing?
say hi.
I got some questions for you too. So when you come back later, I got some questions for you. Okay?
Okay, let me talk. You need something?
Spider-Man car.
Huh?
Spider-Man car.
You need the Spider-Man car? Are you taking it with you? Okay, you got the remote? It's in there on the table. Take your whistle.
Spider-Man gun.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So far, like
Hey,
my son be walking in on me and everything, dog and everything. So I'm used to it. Trust me. So all right, first question I got for you. I got started out with this one. Now I'm pretty sure you've seen what happened at the Capitol, right?
yeah, I seen.
All right. So what's your thoughts? I'm just interested because I ain't seen you post nothing on Facebook. You ain't said nothing. I
I
don't
did.
know.
I posted one post on Facebook, and it's so funny because, like I post nonsense and I get like 50 likes, and then when I post like real stuff, like it's like 3 likes. Facebook's so funny like that.
Yeah.
But I did post something about it. I posted about the how the National Guard. I posted a picture of how the National Guard was posted up at the Capitol during the Black Lives Matter protest, if that's what you want to call it.
Mm.
Um, and then I posted a picture of the Capitol being stormed the other day.
Right.
Where was all that security? I just thought that was,
Yeah, it was standing.
that was
Like,
odd,
damn.
especially since the the protest itself had been publicized for a couple weeks that they were going to be having this big thing
Mhm.
at the Capitol, and I guess didn't feel any need to protect it. I almost feel like all of this stuff is like so. It's like it's literally unbelievable.
You
Like
think?
it is literally unbelievable. So if you was going to continue some fraudulent vote count or whatever, it would be appropriate for there to just be a massive invasion of the Capitol building where these votes are being counted. Everybody got to be emergency evacuated. The people is up on the floors recording themselves. If you pay attention to the videos, though, they are not in the same room where the officials were doing the counting. It's not the same room, but still, I mean, like, come on, where's the security on the day that the freaking votes are being counted?
You ain't seen a
Excuse
security
me,
guard?
excuse me, one moment. Kayon, sweetheart, can you take that in your room while I'm on this call, please? Thank you. You can because you yes.
Good to go. All right. Life. But
Spider-Man won't fly in his room, so
there you go. There you go. Only you can float fly in the living room.
right now.
I'll feel you. What you?
Okay.
All right. What you say? You were saying that they
So
want.
yeah, I just think that's like ironic. So it's no security on this day when there should have been all types of National Guards and security. And then they said on one of the interviews that I listened to that nobody was even there. So
Right.
what are we saying? Are they there counting or are they not there? Like
Right. It's
it was
confusing.
only 4 people there that was supposed to speak.
Mm-hmm. So okay, here's my question. So how are they counting these votes? Are they sitting there actually counting one vote.
Well, I think that they
It's too
voting and saying,
understanding. Like, how they count it?
I'm under the impression that this particular wasn't like this particular count wasn't for like the president. So it's basically like your county had, I mean, basically like the electoral vote. So it's 15 electoral votes for the, I have no idea if they had counted all these people votes in that one. Hell no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's confusing.
No, they not counting the individual ballots right then and there.
Right.
No, those ballots was already. I guess that they saying that was already counted.
I don't know, confusion. All I know.
No, but that's also that was what I was thinking when I was looking at it, because I'm watching it as they said they resumed the count and they got this picture of them in the back talking, walking around. They got some numbers up on the screen, and I'm thinking to myself, how many people know what they're looking at?
Right.
What these numbers mean?
Right. It reminds you of homeschooling, right? When your kids sitting there looking at the screen, don't know what the hell they looking at. They trying to teach them.
And don't know what they're looking at.
They don't know what they're looking at. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. The whole thing don't make sense. I'm confused as far as why you need to count votes, and I don't understand the whole process. This is one of the most craziest election years I ever seen in my life, man. Like, I don't think I ever seen nothing like this. But yo,
I know I have.
Though. But you say with Black Lives Matter, though, you talked about, you see what Trump posted for Black Lives Matter, that they're not going to be tolerating, destroying government buildings and all that. But then you cheering on people who are actually breaking in to the state capitol, busting windows, sitting there putting their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and all that. I'm like, there's a double standard. So can we honestly speak now that white privilege does exist and stop ignoring it? Are we at that stage now?
Well, I think that whatever privilege exists that we allow. You know, it's high time to stop being victimized.
Okay.
When we all ran out and got our votes in.
Okay.
Why the hell are we even participating in a system that don't give a crap about us? Why do I care who your president is?
Right.
But we all ran out there like our vote was going to make a difference. Oh, they flung the election in our face like, hey, go vote. And Joe Biden is your guy.
So what do you think we should do? If we don't vote, then what do we do to change like the system and what's going on with racism and the issues that the black community are affected by? So what would you suggest that we do?
I mean, it would. I'm so drastic. I might be the wrong person to ask.
Right.
Because really, we have to start taking care of ourselves, and so they have made it so that it is difficult to take care of ourselves. We are very reliant on this government now. That's why we run out and vote and participate. But this is not a system that has been created for us. It never was created for us.
How
we fought to be a part of something that was not for us?
Well, the whole country and the whole Constitution, like my philosophy for 2021 is gentrify America. Gentrify America 2021. And what I mean by that is we need to gentrify the Constitution. We know the Constitution was not made for free black men or black women.
Fuck the Constitution. Whose Constitution is that? What part did your forefathers play in that Constitution?
That's what I'm saying. Like
that Constitution, do you know that Constitution says that there is no crime unless we say it's a crime? Who the fuck is we?
So that's what I'm saying. The Constitution does not reflect black people. It doesn't. It doesn't support.
So going out and voting. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like as long as we participate in these systems that are not for us, that are completely and totally set up against us. Right. As long as we participate, we're going to continue to basically say whatever y'all do to us is okay. We accept it as long as we can have what y'all have.
But see,
as long as y'all going to let us feel like we a part of something that we ain't never needed to be a part of.
But see, that's what the difference is. It's not so much of them doing that, it's so much of us doing that to ourselves.
That's why I said that we need this. It's high time that we stop being a victim and feeling like we getting some type of retribution or something that's owed to us from these people, and stand up and take some shit that we feel like is owed to us. Because nobody is going to give us anything. The only thing that they have given us is welfare, which has literally destroyed our community. Welfare, food stamps, I keep saying it. We go sign up for all of it just as quick as we go out here to vote. We want their welfare. We want their food stamps. We want to wear their sneakers. We want to wear their clothes. We go out and just do it, and ain't nobody just doing shit for us.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody.
But then you gotta ask the question, what are we doing for us? When we talk about education, that's why I say priority. The way we're gonna fix crime in the city, and this is my philosophy. My theory is the way we fix crime in the city, the way we fix poverty is through education. Without education, we can't fix that. When we talk about what we're gonna do for us, we first must learn to love ourselves. First of all, two, we gotta learn. Be educated. We gotta be not just self-educated, but get education where we understand how this works. This is a capitalistic system that we live in. And capitalistic meaning that this is ran by finances. We don't understand, or we're not even taught about finances. So a lot of times we're behind the eight ball, not only because of slavery and all that, but because of what we do know and don't know. Money doesn't come with some kind of guide or instructions. So a lot of times we do rely on food stamps, welfare, public housing as a crutch. But until we remove the crutch, we really can't blame somebody else for what we're doing to ourselves. Then it's the issue where not supporting each other. I talked back in the Green Book episode how during segregation, how we supported, we had to build our own banks, movie theaters, hotels and stuff, because when we traveled, there was nowhere to go. Once segregation was removed, what happened? Those certain locations that supported us went away. They disappeared. There's no trace of those locations because what did we do? Once we were allowed to go into Walmart, we said screw that mom and pop store that was supporting us the whole time. Once we was able to stay at the Marriott, screw Miss Vicky's hotel that helped us let us stay somewhere. We stopped vacationing in places where they set up for us. So a lot of us, we are our own worst enemies, but then we point at other people like, yo, it's your fault we're in a situation where it's your fault, but what point do we look at ourselves like, yo, we got to tighten our own belt and realize, okay, we know what they did to us. Now we got to know what we need to do to get paid.
Right now. You know why right now?
What's that?
Because right now in the United States, Black people have gotten more free money from the government than ever. You know it, and I know it.
True.
So many people running around the city that we live in, that we know personally,
right?
Thousands of dollars. Just, and what did we do with it? What did people do with it?
Go buy some rims.
They bought cars.
Go buy some rims.
Mugs, bought sneakers. What are those sneakers called? It's some Chuck Charles.
Chuck Taylors.
Not Chuck Taylors. They something else. I don't know. I ain't up on it. Balenciagas, I know. People went out and
I don't know.
bought the most ridiculous things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew people, people that didn't secure roofs over their head. You understand what I'm saying? And so at this very moment, who can they blame? Who can we blame now? When you cannot say, I don't have, when you actually have it to do something and you don't have nobody else to blame.
Well, okay, let me explain this to you. Learned behavior, though. How do we overcome learned behavior when we're taught to do this, taught to buy these things, taught to want the clothes and stuff, want the new Jordans, want the Balmain, the Balenciagas. And truthfully is we taught. It's similar to a lot of things we're taught as kids. Similar to women being taught that when a boy hits them, that this is a way of saying that he likes you. Then you growing up, dude beating on you, you figure that's love. You know what I mean? A lot of things in which we're taught, and I feel like trauma is passed down. So that you say what?
I think that is probably going to be our hardest. That's our biggest obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that as people of color, as Black people, we are already attracted to glitter and gold. You know, you go back to Africa and they already was wearing gold and all of that stuff, and it didn't necessarily have the value that it had to people that was coming in looking at. They just like to look nice. It just blings.
Right.
That's just natural for us.
Right.
Okay, but we have to reevaluate where we place our value at the current moment.
True.
And in order to do that, it's going to take it's going to take a drastic loss for us as people of color. For us as a group of people. Yeah, that's a map.
Yeah, that's what you can build.
It's a map for you to build. That's right.
Mommy, I want to build right now.
Okay, we're not going to build right now because I'm going to.
Okay, so talk about what kind of loss are we talking about? What kind of loss are we talking about that we gotta take?
We would have to lose. You ever heard them say the terms where people have to hit rock bottom? Like, we are addicted to this lifestyle.
We at rock bottom.
You think so?
Yes. Okay.
You think that we at rock bottom? Let me explain something to you about our. Hold up. No, time out, cause I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna nail this real quick. Let me nail this point real quick. Because this is the nature of our disease. You understand what I'm saying? See, you don't feel the effects because you get up and you go to work every day.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You are a responsible person who pays for most of the things that they have. A lot of things aren't given to you, but you have to understand that there are generations of people at the current moment who everything has been given to them. You understand that there are people who have welfare that haven't paid no more than $40 rent a month ever, that get a utility check to help them pay for their utilities, that get a welfare check that helps them cover whatever else by the baby dad being dragged all through the court system so that they can get a fucking $160 a month per child. You understand what I'm saying? Then they give you motherfuckers food stamps so niggas don't gotta do nothing, and motherfuckers sell them. They out. Okay, ain't no food in the refrigerator. We have become accustomed to getting everything for nothing.
But hold on,
for nothing, and what we have sacrificed is our children.
Yeah, whole family. But hold on, let me explain.
So we can't say we at rock bottom. You're not at rock bottom whenever somebody giving you everything. You at rock bottom when everything that has been given to you has been taken away, and you gotta fend for yourself. When we get there, maybe we'll get up.
Hold on, now okay. Now that's your rock bottom. Let me explain to you when I talk about being at rock bottom is. Now let me give it to you another way, because I hear what you're saying when you take things financially. We at rock bottom, tell you why. We were removed from our country, correct? We were removed from our name. Tell me what's your native name. Tell me what's your native culture. Tell me where you from. Tell me about your history. Tell me, not just you. Tell people to tell me about it. Hold on. Tell me about when you watch TV and you learn something about yourself. When you see yourself truly being identified. Italian people, they have pride in their culture. Irish people, pride in their culture. You have people, Asian people, pride in their culture. African people have lost their name. We have lost everything. When I'm talking about we have rock bottom, what have more can they strip from us that they ain't already stripped? They stripped us down to bare bone. The problem is that a lot of people, they put money as far as being at rock bottom, meaning I'm dead broke, man, I can't afford rent and stuff. Rock bottom means you're rock bottom spiritually, mentally. You don't even know your culture or what you're teaching. What do you tell your kids about your past or your history of who they are? So how can we go forward when we don't even know who we really are? We taking on Italian people, rappers taking Italian people's names, and they don't even like you. They're racist to you. My issue with this, and don't get me wrong, ain't no offense towards nobody, but the point of the matter is, how much more are you gonna strip? Now, yes, they can strip your clothes, they can strip your money, but how much of your history have they stripped? How much of you already been stripped down? When we talk about hitting rock bottom, when you're seeing it, we're talking about hitting rock bottom in a capitalistic system financially. Absolutely right. Food stamps, welfare, public housing has caused many issues in the Black community. Can't argue against that. It does. The Black man was stripped from the home. You put drugs in these neighborhoods and then tell the people they broke, but then you producing millionaire drug dealers. I mean, it don't make sense to me. But at some point, we do have to remove ourselves, and I agree with you, we do have to remove ourselves from these programs. They're not going to remove these programs from us, because as long as they give you the crutch, as long as you're going to rely and need them. But my thing is, too, going back to the Capitol building, too, my thing to people is like, yo, why are you surprised by what the government's doing? Like, why is this a shock to you? They've been doing this forever, since way beyond me. You act like this is something new? They don't give a damn about you. You tell me when the government, I'll wait. Tell me when the government ever gave a damn about any of us. I'll wait. You think they putting this stuff out here for what? To help us? Oh, they gave you a $600 stimulus check. What that's gonna do? How much is your rent? Your mortgage? They gave you $1,200. How much is your rent mortgage? What's that gonna do for you? They don't give a damn. The point is they don't give a damn, but at some point, we must self-educate ourselves to pick ourselves up, because I'm not sitting here saying that everybody can do what I do or even what you do. Some people don't have, I guess, the capabilities of doing it. And I'm not telling you be me, but at the same time, at some point, we gotta say, F what you're trying to give me, I'm going to take what I'm deserved. And the only way you know what you deserve is when you know who the hell you are and where you're from. You need to know who you're from.
I disagree, and I'm going to say one, because they haven't never wiped all of the black people out of Africa. And so therefore our culture and history as African people, it still exists. It's still there. We have to go get it. We have to go find it if that's what we feel makes us whole. You understand what I'm saying? I created this LaLa Right on Facebook. People call me LaLa Right, and most people don't call me Labrina Ringo that know me personally. That's a business name. Right. I use it for what it's for. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So you have the ability to create exactly what you want right there when you want to forget the past. But let me tell you something about the past, because we are under some freaking illusion or delusion is what I want to call it, that every freaking black person that got here or that's here in America is of a slave descent. Know that this is a fact. Christopher Columbus got here with 19 slaves. 19. Know that this is a fact. 100 years before he got here, a Spanish man came here with slaves. When he got off of the ship with his slaves, it was black people on land. Right. When they see him with niggas chained up, they snapped. They ran his ass back up off of this is the United States, we talking America. And he had to leave his slave. That was 100 years before Christopher Columbus got here. So the information is there. So we were not just dragged over here by chains, and that's a freaking delusion that has been created. That is the part of history that is missing. And the minute that we stop thinking that we are brought over here in chains and that we are victims, because we are not. They have letters from the military saying when they landed in Virginia, they had to send soldiers down to fight the Indians. The soldiers wrote a letter back saying, we don't see Indians, we see black people. Right. We see Negroes. Right. Because it was already Negroes there.
Why is that so hard to believe, though? Like, well, this is my problem.
It's not hard for me to believe.
No. See, but okay, this is what I understand. I get what you know, but you gotta remember, even with me, like when I do my show, I know. You know, but you gotta keep in mind when you're speaking, just because you know, you gotta think about the majority of people don't have the same information as you. They don't have the same knowledge as you, and one of the reasons why is they have access to the same information that me and you do. And this is why I tell people all the time: any information I have, you have the same access to it. You just gotta have the will to go get it. You can't sit here and listen to everything taught in your books. You gotta sit there and formulate your own opinion, and you gotta sit there and dissect what it is. History is written by the victors, as they say. So if history is written by victors, then the victor don't have to tell the necessarily truth. They can tell you anything. If I'm the victor, then I can say, yo, I sailed across here with 100,000 slaves. There was no black people on this land, nor was there any other person. That don't make it the truth. That just makes what I wrote. So when you're dealing with history, I agree with you. One of the things I said was, and you can look at it and look up the history of it, Africa's the first continent on Earth. Africa's the first continent on Earth. African people, black people were the first people on Earth. If you translate any other race back, they're going to have black roots, whether they like it or not, because we were the first people on Earth. Now, despite all that, I agree with everything you said. The problem is a lot of people don't understand or don't want to believe it because history was taught to them a certain way. And because of the teaching that's in public school, where all they teach you is about Black history is I had a dream speech. So I do get that you identify and you understand your history. You know, you do go by LaLa, right? But keep in mind that everybody doesn't have that level of knowledge that you had, knowledge of self that you had. So a lot of people are walking around in a system that was not created for us, under a constitution and a Bill of Rights that was not created for us to be free, with the illusion that you said. The illusion that you said, because I think that's true. It is an illusion that you're living with, the believe that you're something that you're not. And this is why I go back to a lot of the teaching and what we see and why we need to know our history. Is because when you look at movies and stuff, what do you see? You see us identified as slaves. You see us, if whether we're back in Egypt, we're slaves in Egypt. You see us in America, we're slaves. What movie, what programming, what teaching have you ever heard taught about us before slavery? Not what we went out and seen or found out ourselves, but what was taught about us before slavery.
Well, nothing was taught by them, right?
No.
That just go back to the more free stuff. I mean, we live like kings and queens as long as we let them, as long as we being programmed. So we have not even taken care of our children. You know what I'm saying? We don't
Yeah.
want to homeschool our children when this pandemic or whatever you want to call it hit, and we had to take our kids out of school. Oh, my child's not going back to public school.
We
I
should talk
set up some little homeschool stuff here, and I
right.
had some other children here, and I would say that these children were from. This is what I'll say about that: 3 different states,
Mhm.
and 3 different backgrounds, family wise,
Yeah.
all public school. All of them went to public schools in their hometown, whatever. Go get another one. But nobody was at their when I tested them, just a little test at home. Nobody was at their grade where they would have properly been, should have properly been for their grade level, and that's academics. We're not even talking about history wise. That's academics. We're not going to talk about what our children don't know because we don't know it. We were privileged. You and I were privileged
Yes.
to have grandparents.
Yes. Yes. That doesn't exist like that. No offense to
We
anybody.
were
Grandparents
privileged
don't
to
exist.
have grandparents.
Yes.
So we got to hear some things from actual account. And we got to hear things that their parents told them. And
Mhm.
that their parents, you understand what I'm saying? So we
Yes.
got that was education.
Yes. No.
So it is, it's different for us because we get to look at things from a different perspective because of what we know from what they knew.
Right.
A lot of our friends, family, other family members didn't know their grandparents.
So let's switch.
And now, when you look at it, and people are leaving here so young,
Yeah.
a lot of these kids coming up won't know. So as long as they passing their books down, they continue to create the narrative for the
Yeah.
next generation. So
Yeah.
as long as we keep taking their books, taking their free stuff, we keep allowing them to create our narrative. We have to stop. Our kids are out of school right now. See, do you own your home? I know homeowners are paying taxes right now.
Yeah. They
School
raised the
tax.
taxes. They raised the taxes because of this. Because
Raise the school tax.
raised the taxes. I'm like, I look at my lawyers like, what the hell went up? My stuff went up. But they didn't even notify me that they was making these adjustments.
You know, and what does that do? That make you mad.
Hell yeah.
Why the hell I got paying the kids is home? And I still got, see,
But okay, but here's what I want to switch gears real quick because I want, yo, you on something, and I want to stick with this. Public schools, let's just call it what it is. I'm not talking about teachers. Public schools, and part of my French people, are shitty, okay? They don't, I agree with everything you say. Let's put history aside. I know kids that's in 6th, 7th grade. I keep hearing stories about kids in high school. How the hell is a kid in 10th grade? And I'm telling you, I heard stories. People of different states can't read. Please explain to me, how are you in the 10th grade and you just, oh, this person can't read. This person can't write. This person doesn't know math past small digits addition. You tell me, how is that possible that a kid is making it all the way to the 10th grade and you just catching on that they got a reading issue? Public schools are jacked up. And then it's the education system that they're using these kids ain't interested. So I'm with you. And then this
But they ain't
homeschooling.
using no education system right now.
Oof,
You know, you have to the go actually be an old school parent to know that though.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Our parents showed up at school.
Yeah, yeah.
People they used to have parent teacher conferences. Now they got dojo. You just go on your phone and get the report, and it's not okay.
But you also got parents
It's
assessing
not okay because we're not paying attention. I had the school here, and see, I picked up on it because I'm thank you, son. He's so kind. Brought me a piece of his cookie.
Tell ain't share me with that. I guess he ain't fooling me right now.
Well, the school would call me just about every day at the same time and say, Breon got a nosebleed.
Okay.
Breon gets nosebleeds. That's normal.
Right.
Send her back to class.
Okay.
So finally one day, I was irritated because I'm working a regular 9 to regular work job. I'm not working for myself right now. I'm working a regular job and I keep having to answer this phone every day. Darn near the same time for the same thing. And I finally figured out what it was when the report card came. She had a D
Mm-hmm.
in math.
Okay.
So here I got this phone call one day and I said, ma'am, nurse, office lady, is it math class for Breon right now?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, let me check the schedule. And she looked and she said, yeah, she would be in math right now. I said, so you mean to tell me that my child is skipping class every day at the office with y'all, and we can't figure out why she can't get this math done?
Mm.
Not because I'm not helping her at home, because she ain't in class at school.
Right.
Send Breon back. Y'all got a kid like this. This is what these teachers not paying attention. Parents are not paying attention.
Oh no.
Parents are not paying attention. How did that get past the teacher, the nurse?
Now I agree with the fact that not paying attention, but then you got to think about this too. A public school, a teacher got 30 students in class, can't pay attention to one, and that's the problem. You got 30 kids, but then here's the issue
What
too.
school did you go to? What school did you go to when you had 10 people in your class?
Oh, when I was an IEP, I did.
That
Oh,
was
that's a whole different story right there. But
that's a whole nother story. Regular classrooms had anywhere from 20
they
to
all
30
had,
kids.
yes, they all had it.
Always.
But what's the dropout rate for those schools, though? What's the dropout rate when them kids get to high school? The dropout rate is very high for those kids because unlike private schools where there's more smaller classroom, these classes are 30 plus kids. And what we're not realizing is how is a teacher handling 30 kids? If you go to a daycare right now, they will not allow. I don't know. You can give me the more specifics with that, but are you allowed to have one daycare person in a room with 30 plus kids?
No.
Is that allowed? So that's what I'm saying. How is it in a classroom? You got 30 kids in a classroom for one teacher and instructing her to teach them. When you got kids that are not on the same level and also not going to be doing the same thing. What is just, I don't understand how that works. Like,
Boy, it don't work.
then you wonder, but we.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why it don't work. Because one, because you have to understand that like you said, these kids are all are going to be on different levels and learn differently and pick up things differently. So it's not going to work. It's never going to work. It never has worked. It didn't work way back when they started it, and it don't work now.
But it's different when we was kids, though.
We have to stop. Why do we send our kids to public school?
Because you can't afford to. But that's another story.
Free.
But that's you should. Because I'm great. Let me finish. We say we can't afford to, but at the same time, like you started this off with though, but you got people walking around with Christian Dior's, Balmain, the newest Jordans, and all that. Now you reallocate that money, you find out, yeah, you actually can afford to send your kid to a private school or to a different type of school. But also, parents sitting there not putting up with this crap that these schools teaching. Then you got to think about, like we said, didn't they raise our taxes on our homes? So you tell me, I'm interested to hear this. Where's all that money, extra money you charge me on my taxes for school? The kids are not in school right now. Technically, they're home.
It's paying
So
for the
what's this money
teachers
being
to come
utilized
home
for?
and do nothing. It's paying for them to send out the little $100 Google tablets or whatever that they're giving the kids.
When I ain't get one yet.
It's paying for the higher up people's salaries because that's really where it's going. Like at the end of the day, we forget forget public school.
Mm-hmm.
It's free education that just let them pass the narrative. We got to take care of our own kids.
We do, but see, the problem is, let me tell you what I got a problem with the school system. I want to tell you about two things. One, here's what I say: you're teaching these kids to take a test. A test. Let me ask you something. When the last time you went to a job and you sitting on your 9 to 5 and they tell you, "Yo, Labrina, we got or LaLa, right? We got a test for you to take." They don't. So why am I testing? Why am I preparing my kid to take a test? And you constantly teaching them to take a test. Why is the curriculum not set around things that generate the kids' interest and keep the kids' interest? Wouldn't you think that would be a better way to teach them, let alone get them to be able to associate the work, to be able to understand the work? That's one. And then, so I'm gonna let you answer that. Then I get to my other problem with the school system. What do you think about
It's
that?
hard for me to answer these questions because I got a big problem with public school. Like my kids are not going back to public school.
So you
It's just not
homeschool?
happening. I don't I just don't feel like I want my children to continue to be programmed. I feel like it might take 100 years to change the narrative, but it got to start somewhere. If it start with my two damn kids,
And what do you okay when you say change the narrative? What do you mean by change the narrative?
like we have to start educating ourselves. I have somebody have to teach my kids, my children, spelling,
Mm,
reading, math, science, and about who they are.
mm,
And it doesn't have to be you was a slave, your great grandparents came over here on a ship, because that's not what I'm going to teach my children. And
mm,
that's important. We don't have any confidence. Our children don't have any self-esteem. And
right.
it's like you said, because we're being taught that we were slaves and that we were the meek. And so we all sitting around continuing to be meek, hoping that we inherit the dang earth. Like
Yep.
that, it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not what I'm going to. You can't really ask me. I don't like. I completely disagree with public school and the fact that we send our children anywhere when we were the ones raising other people's children,
Ain't that true?
so to speak. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can you trust people with your kids that don't want to take care of their own children? You want that don't even want to breastfeed their own children.
Right.
You can't.
I agree.
You can't.
No argument with that.
And they teach our kids nothing about life. So they get out here and they don't and they have no idea how to survive. So I'm good off of that. I'm good off of the public school system. If it was left up to me, all we all need to take our kids out right now. Why do you even have your kids on virtual learning? You
But
know why? But right now, because they say, oh, they going to say you truant. It's a piece of freaking paper that you fill out that say you homeschooling your kid, and you
mhm.
send it in, and that's that.
What do you
And the
tell people?
truancy.
What about people that's working though? 'Cause that seems like the solution. But what about people who working and can't be home with their kids at school, homeschooling?
Who's home with your kid now on virtual school?
Good point. Good point. Well, a lot of people. I'm talking about. Okay, let's get the pandemic over. Pandemic's over. We go back to the regular scheduled program.
Never going to happen. But go
I don't
okay.
think so. I don't think so either. Personally, I think the world's never going to be the same as it was before.
Never going to
But
happen.
let's for just for the sake of argument, it goes back to it. Now we agree that it's not going to come back to normal, but let's just say for the sake of argument, it goes back, okay? Because they're trying to push for it to go back and just learn to live with this stuff. So you go back to work now. We gotta go back to work. What do we do with our children who we want now homeschool? What would your suggestion be?
You got to do something else.
Hmm. That's my
We got to
problem with
choose to
people.
do something else. We have to be, listen, this is what I'm telling you. We are afraid to lose anything.
You're right.
You're gonna have to figure out some other way to feed your children other than going to their facility
Mhm.
and running their corporation and making sure that they get paid so that they can pinch you off a penny
Mhm.
and rob you of your children. Okay? So that job, that's not gonna work.
Oh,
Then you know why? Because your kids are the priority. And that's why I'm saying we have literally sacrificed our kids to be a part of it, our children to be a part of a system that don't give a shit about us. We are the battery in America's back. That's it.
mm.
That's it. There ain't no way in hell that we the minority. If I'm telling you that a Spaniard came over here with 100 slaves of his own and left them here because it was already black people here when he got here, and then Christopher Columbus showed up with 19 slaves and he wasn't 100 deep. His crew wasn't even 100 deep. You understand what I'm saying? We're not the minority. If you stop getting up and going to, okay, let's just take the Delmarva Power as an example. Let's take public school system as an example. If we all withdrew our kids and said we was going to homeschool our children now, that's the end of the public school system. You know why? Because we're in the public, we run that. That's done for us, specifically to pass the narrative for our ignorance. You understand? To keep us ignorant. If Delmarva Power, every black person said that worked at Delmarva Power said, you know what? I'm not going to go to work today. Nobody wouldn't have no fucking lights. Not just black people, white people too. Not just white people, Mexicans too. Not just Mexicans, Italians too. You understand what I'm saying? We run this shit, but we don't. But we sit around and acquiesce. We just participate. We just gonna go along with the ideal that we are the minority, that we are the meek, we the weak ones. We shoot our brothers and sisters down in the street, but run from the cops with the same fucking gun. You understand what I'm saying? We are completely delusional at this point. It has to stop. We have to leave. We gotta mentally leave that system. We can't continue to participate and think that we're going to get anything out of it more than we are getting, which is death. And who are we sacrificing but our babies? If you can't see that as a parent, that it's our children that have lost generation after generation after generation because we want to have something that's not for us. Right. And why do we want to have something? Why? For what? I can remember my grandmother saying she didn't want the generic medicine. She wanted the medicine that the white people was taking. Like it freaking made a difference. Like it made a difference. You should have wanted the medicine that your great grandmother was taking. And it didn't come in a pill bottle. You understand what I'm saying? But we said no, forget that because they made it, we want it. Because they got it, we want that. When we already had the cure. We traded life for death, and now we mad. And now we mad, and we sitting around like our hands is tied, and all of this stuff is wrong with the system. It's nothing wrong with the system. It's working exactly the way that it's supposed to, and that's the part that we act like we don't understand. It's not broken. It's fixed. Period. When we get that part, it is fixed. We can't go in and fix something that's not broken. It's not broken.
Now, I'll go back to my previous Facebook post and what I said to people, and I'll stand here and say it again. With the state capital issue, with everything that's happening in America, what I said was America is showing you exactly what America is. This is not nothing made up. This is not nothing new. This is America. This is it. You're absolutely right. Like I previously said, the Constitution was not written for black people or free black people. The Bill of Rights was not written for black people or free black people. And if you don't believe me, then you show me what one black person no, don't even give me two. Give me one black person that was in the room, had an opinion, had a pen that signed it. It was not written for us. So yes, I do agree. The system is not built for us. The system is not created for us. The system is not created for us to win. Now, what you said was the system is not broken. Are you lying? Are you telling the audience anything that's not truthful? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not. You're not telling them nothing that's not true. You're right. This system is not broken. They keep saying the system broken. The system need to be changed. You're absolutely right. The system is created to work exactly like it's supposed to. Everything's done to work exactly like it's supposed to. We're moving and we're acting and our behavior is running in line with everything that we're supposed to do. And disagree with it, but we're doing what we're supposed to. Buying the Balmain, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, all that crap, we're doing exactly what we're supposed to. Not supporting each other, killing each other, that's what we're supposed to. We're doing everything that was built for us to think. Us going around weak-minded, not knowing who we are, our identity, not understanding education, we're doing everything we were supposed to. The system is not broken. People talk about the education system is not broken. The education system is broken. No, it's doing what it's supposed to. You talk about the prison system is broken. No, it's doing what it's supposed to. Whoever said education was truly meant to educate us? Who said that? Who made that promise to you that the education system, public school, was truly able to educate you to what? Own their own business? Oh, if you go to college, so who told you going to college was meant to teach you how to own your own business? Who promised you any of this stuff? Who told you that prison was supposed to be there to rehabilitate you? Who told you this? Whoever told you these things lied to you. The system is working directly how it's supposed to. Here's my issue, and I think we agree, even though we disagree on certain things, we do agree on this. We cannot become and continue to be reliant on someone else to educate us and teach us what we need to know, what we need to do, and how to get ourselves out of the hole that we're in. Now, that includes our children. I agree with you 120%. 120%, because similar to you, the conversation I have with my children is not about what's taught in school. Hell no, I'm going to teach you about all the stuff that's missing out of those books. And I'm not just talking about history books, the math books, the reading, the writing books. And I'm going to push you because, like you, I want you to be better than I was. I want you to be better than I am. I want you to have the life who you are. I also want you to know who you are and not allow someone else to tell you who you are. Because anybody, and I want anybody, including you, to disagree with me, comment below in the comment section. You tell me what job did not try to dictate who you are, and by the end of your time there, try to convince you that you weren't something else by belittling you, talking down. What you tell me, which job didn't do that? Because I done told y'all, I did an episode called Trophies. I talked about it, and I'm not afraid to admit where I did at one point allow a job to do that very thing to me, belittle me to a point I almost lost my damn identity. But I'll tell you something else I said when I walked away from that. You did it once, you'll never get a chance to do it twice. Never. Also, the thing I teach people is, self-ownership. If you're not sitting here trying to own something for yourself, you're being selfish. You're being selfish. Because here's the thing, you cannot, and once again, people, and I've been speaking about this, people, whoever watched the show, you cannot inherit your child a job. I don't care how good you are with your boss and all that. You cannot inherit your child a job. That apartment, that public housing that you're living in, you cannot inherit that to your children. Those food stamps you're getting, you can't inherit that to your children. Unless you own something of your own, and I mean truly own something of your own, you can't inherit it. Start your own business. Start your own company. I'm not telling you there's not going to be obstacles. There's not going to be challenges with it. But you got to think past your own self-interest and think about your children's future. And that's why I stand on and I believe it. And that's why I teach to the audience, like, you need to find yourself, you need to check yourself, but you need to correct and educate yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead. I see you smiling, so I know you got something up in that head. I see you there's something in that head that you want to go ahead and say.
I'm just thinking that we definitely
go ahead.
We gotta learn as a people that we don't always have to agree on every situation. No. We get into confrontations with each other because we don't agree, but that is how we start to solve problems. That's how we get to see things from another person's perspective. That's where we start to see the holes in the system. It's important that we don't all see the same thing, but it's important that we all come to agree that we can totally disagree and get to a solution that works for all of us. But Absolutely. We have to start somewhere. I personally think that education is where we're going to have to start. We are going to have to start taking care of our children. We have to take our children back. We got to start putting together programs where we're educating, where we're not expecting them to do anything.
I agree with you. I got.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I got a house here, I got 2 kids, but I got 4 chairs at my table.
Right.
I could take 2 more kids.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm good.
We watched our grandparents do it all the time.
We gotta get back.
And now we act like we don't have enough to share. You understand what I'm saying? If you gotta go to work, and I got 2 chairs at my table, go to work and bring me your children. But we need to start doing stuff like that for each other.
I agree, but we got to go back to being community, and that's what you're talking about is the old community adage that you work as a community, you help teach as a community. We need that old community type of atmosphere back. That's what we're talking about. Now, as far as feeling like you don't got enough, once again, we go back to the capitalistic system that we have been conditioned to learn, that we don't understand what poverty is and what it truly means to not have enough. You tell me you got 10 pair of shoes, 2 feet, but then you say, oh no, I can't give a pair away because I don't have enough.
You hear me?
I mean, I'm not getting it. But then going back to what you said about disagreeing, I absolutely agree. And people have to understand that too. We're not all meant to agree. We're not going to always see everything the same perspective. It don't mean that you're wrong or I'm right and you're wrong. It means that we just have different perspective on it. But as long as we can respect each other, have a conversation, then like you said, we can find our way to where we're trying to get to. But we have to be able to, it has to, and that's the problem I think people have. They don't have respect for each other. You don't think that you can have a conversation without respect, without disrespecting someone. I'm sorry, you guys, don't pay me no mind. My phone's going crazy for some reason. I'm sorry, what you guys say?
I was saying I was saying nothing. I was listening.
No.
But I definitely think yeah, the only way we're going to be able to make changes is if we start to hear each other's ideas, hear each other's what we see. We got to disagree and come to an agreement on something. So um the first thing but we need to agree on is education. The community is a whole nother issue in itself. The one thing is that we don't own anything.
No.
That's a terrible thing for any people. I think that's more detrimental than the ideal of slavery, because even coming out of slavery to not have anything,
Mm-hmm.
the mindset is just, it's all messed up. So the pride that we should have in our neighborhoods is not there. When we
Right.
was growing up, it was still homeowners over East Side. You understand what I'm saying? It was
Right.
still homeowners and business owners in the neighborhood. So that's like a whole nother thing. And we need to figure out a way to put some programs together to get homeowners back in, them turn them Section 8 vouchers into mortgages some kind of way. That's a whole nother issue in itself.
But we got to have you back because one thing I want to say is before I go on to respond to what you said is that's why I always tell people, listen, anyone watching this, anyone listening, this is why I tell people, yo, comment. I welcome you, comment, Facebook, whatever. I don't care. Comment. Don't comment because you agree with me. Hell, I tell you, if you don't agree with me and LaLa, right, you will tell me how you feel. You ain't got no problem. If you agree with me, you want to say, yo, I agree with you. If you don't, well, nah, I ain't digging that. Or you want to let me know. But this is why I stress to people, please respond, comment. Let me know. Everything I say is not saying it's the truth. It's not. That's why I welcome people not just to comment. Come on and do a show. We can do Zoom. Come on. You welcome to come on. And as long as we can be respectful to each other, come on, let's talk about it. So it is important that we still have this. And that's why I wanted you on so bad, because I know that you have an interesting perspective. You have a different perspective, but I also kept telling you, like, yo, even we talked earlier, you have a perspective that people need to hear. Not just hearing my perspective, they need to hear what you have to say because you really do have knowledge, and I respect what you say. And, I learned from you as well. So that's why I wanted you on the show. But another thing, I agree with what you said, and I'm going to push this, and this whole year is dedicated to education. This what this year the show is dedicated to. Last year it was all about the Black civil rights, Black movement, helping us dig ourselves out of the hole. This year is all about education because, like you said, education is the foundation to everything we are, who we are. We don't have an education of self, education, knowledge of money. We don't have true knowledge, and we really don't have nothing. We're piss poor. We already at rock bottom, whether you know it or not. Whether they know it or not, you already at rock bottom if you ain't got education, because you're always going to be relied on someone else to give you something and do something for you. And truthfully, we're trying to free you. This conversation is not about us disagreeing or seeing different things. Me and LaLa Ray got the same objective. Trust me. We trying to free you. Like, yo, wake up. Get the hell up. Do something. You hear what she's telling you. Own your own. You sitting there still working for somebody telling you when you can go on vacation, when you can call out sick. You sitting there, somebody coming to your house doing inspections and telling you who you can't live there. Own your own. Take pride in owning your own. If not for yourself, do it for your children. Educate yourself. And I'm not talking about educating yourself so you can help your children do division. Educate yourself so that you can teach your children what they're not teaching about themselves in school. You have a history. Your kids need that confidence. Like you said, we're treated like the meek, and we walk around with our head down. This is something I tell my children all the time. I got two sons. I tell them all the time, like, yo, don't you ever put your head in your chest. I don't care what nobody says to you. You keep your head held high. I don't care if they're yelling at you. You pick your head up, keep your head held high, and understand you are. You don't let no one down you. And that's the problem. We walk around too much all scared and head down, bowing to people we shouldn't, not understanding who we are. Everything LaLa Wright is telling y'all right now, you don't believe her? Go research it yourself. She ain't got no reason to lie to you. And I agree with what she said. She talked about Columbus coming here as African. I mean, not Africans. There were black people here already. She's not lying to you. You got some people who don't want to hear it, don't want to believe it. And some of you just sit there reading history books. Well, this wasn't on page 32 of the history book. That it says Columbus came and there was only Indians here, or he was the first person.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that what she's talking about right now ain't the stuff that you're reading in your history book in school. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to do something that we all hate doing. You're gonna have to read. You're gonna have to research. You're gonna have to take it on your own and learn. She's trying to feed y'all food for thought, people. She always feeding. You gotta eat. What else you got for me, LaLa?
I'm just saying, you know, we all got pretty offended recently with the most recent president. I think that far as far as that goes, we have to look at that from as spectators. We can't continue to play that sport. Um, as long as we participate, as long as we are participating, we are acquiescing. We need to start figuring out how these businesses work. We need to get more into the cycle of things. If I run a food program and you have a daycare and my kids go to your daycare and my food program feeds your daycare, you understand, like, things will work in a circle like that. So we have to figure out, and that's how we get out of the circumstances that we are in. We have to put together stuff that works within our circle. Um, and I don't know how we're going to do that, but communication is the first thing. We got to be able to agree to come together and see what we disagree on and what we do agree on. See where the holes are at. Unfortunately, we need leaders. And I say unfortunately because, like you said, so many people are subject to being followers. We are bombarded with a bunch of false information every single day, false religions, false governments, false education. You know, we live in a completely fake society, a fake world, and we need to wake up. The truth is that the United States, or America, or whatever you want to call it, is probably one of the most beautiful places that you could be right now in the world. And it belongs to us.
Absolutely.
When you hear the proud people talking about their country, it's not here. This is ours. Excuse me, sir. This is ours. We was here first. You know, when we did, nobody read that census. We just filled out that census paper that told us, and it says on there, if anybody have a copy of that Census Bureau, it refers to Black people as the original people. We are the only race on the Census Bureau that are referred to as the original people. We are the original people here, and they know that.
Yeah.
This is our country. That's why they mad.
Which one? You disagree?
Back on you. That's it.
I thought you wanted me to disagree with you or something.
No, absolutely. I hope not.
You want to drop the mic? Go ahead. Go ahead, drop the mic. Okay. Because I said very myself. I don't disagree with nothing you said. We got a couple more minutes. I just got one more quick question. You mentioned the current president that's about to be impeached. Well, maybe not impeached. I think it's a waste of time personally. He's out in a couple weeks. I got to say, we talk about the political system being the way it is, talk about leadership and all that. I was thinking about running for government not too long ago. Then I decided that I can better help people through my podcast rather than in the political realm. Plus, I don't feel like dealing with the politics and trying to appease people. I'm not interested in doing that. If I can't come in and truly do what I'm trying to do, which is help people fix things, not fix things, recreate things that are already done. So when I use correct terms, then I'm not interested. But at the same time, I do feel like we do need people who are like-minded, who think like us, and maybe I need to rethink my position on this to get into office because that's the only true way we're going to see change. It's not through just voting for the politics as usual, but to put people in office similar to yourself. So are you interested at all in diving into politics? And if not, why? You're shaking your head no. Why not? Why not?
Well, because then that would be saying that I believe um that I believe in anything that has to do with the system. I don't believe in anything that has to do, unfortunately, and I hate to say it like that, but if I were to get into politics, I would be saying that something about this is for us. Nothing about this is for us. There's no way to go back and change that.
You don't think it's a
There's no
possible?
way to get in office and say, "Oh, I'm going to be here and make a difference," because it's already set up the way that it's set up.
Mm,
You understand when a president can't even get in office and make a difference.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You could look at the local offices. I mean, what can you say? You got to wear a mask. You don't got to wear a mask.
Right.
You got a curfew. You don't got a curfew.
Mm.
Being in a local public office only requires you to further acquiesce when what we need to be doing is pulling away from this system and not further indulging ourselves into this slavery.
So you feel like the system cannot be fixed. It's not something that can be not fixed but recreated, and that even
Well,
if we have people in, that it's not capable of change being made.
we all know the term, if it's not broke, then don't fix it. And then we have to get out of the black people have to get out of the ideal that the system is somehow broken.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. We got 2 minutes left. Let's talk about that. You know, a lot of our communities is not broken either, but you know what? That don't stop them from coming gentrifying it. So why we can't gentrify America?
Not we can, but not under the current structure.
Exactly. And that's why we need to gentrify, because they can't gentrify our communities in a similar situation with the same structure.
We don't need to rewrite the Constitution. We need to destroy their Constitution.
What?
We don't need the add to addendums to their bills. All of that has to.
Why can't we spread the old Constitution and just do that? I mean, truth to be told, why is that such a stretch for people to do that? Like, why can't we just destroy the Constitution and rebuild it? I mean, I know you probably don't answer, but just curious.
Because the National Guards.
So, I mean.
Because we won't, because we the meat.
But
we're going to inherit the earth when we die.
But then again, as you previously said.
That's why.
You previously stated, in other words, I guess I answered my own question, because as you previously stated that you can't fix something that's not necessarily considered broken. And as we know, the system is functioning as it should. So why destroy a constitution that's doing and serving the purpose that it's meant to serve?
That is meant to serve.
I just pretty much answered my own question on that one. It's just a curiosity that we know this system is not truly working for Black people, the African American people. But I guess we have to get to a point in this country where all people, and maybe it won't happen in our lifetime. Hopefully it happens in our kids, our grandchildren's lifetime, that people understand that even though the system is working like it's supposed to, it's not a system that fulfills the needs of all, or not even many. It just fulfills the needs of some. And that truthfully, until we destroy the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and rewrite and renew, that we can't even think and fathom the idea that racism and social injustice and all the other issues that we experience in this world will ever truly change. But I want to thank you, LaLa, Wright, for coming in, doing this present with me. I'm sorry this one went a lot longer than we usually do, but it was a great conversation. Thank you for finally coming on. Like, I mean,
thank you for having me.
So, I mean, I'm going to have you back on again, but it's 2021, so we're going to schedule for 2023, because that's when I can get you back, right?
I don't know if it's got to be that far out.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, but we definitely gotta get you back on because it's a lot more that we need to cover. I know it's a lot more going on, but we need you to continue to educate us through social media, through all the avenues you do. Continue to do what you're doing with your children. You know, the homeschooling. Don't change who you are or how you're doing things, even if others disagree and don't believe in it. I just want you to know that you got the support of my show. You got the support of me. You always got a platform here to speak your truth or to speak the truth. And nobody's gonna ever silence, edit, or anything you got to say here. We always gonna have a platform for you as long as I have this platform to come on and speak. We don't care who don't like it. You have a platform. You always welcome on the show. You're always welcome to my audience. Continue to be healthy.
We gotta talk about these masks next time.
I know I wanted to get into the mask, but you know we kind of like you went on such a long rant. You know what I mean? You didn't give me a chance to talk about it. I was going to ask you about the mask. You want to address it real quick?
Yeah, no mask.
No
Take
more
them
mask?
off. Don't do it.
No mask.
Don't do it.
Yo,
That's just a form of control. We know better.
what about the curfew, man? What they take?
Why is the whole state of Delaware on probation?
I don't know. I think we all broke the law, man.
How they put a whole state on level 3 probation? Listen, and nobody ain't none of y'all said nothing. They just going in the house at 10. All the buildings closed down, lights shut off. How?
Did you hear about what happened? Hold on, I'm going to answer that question. Did you hear about what happened in Delaware? Because I know you don't live in Delaware. Did you hear about what happened?
What happened?
They stole all the toilet paper.
All the toilet paper is gone.
We ain't had no toilet paper. That's what happened. They stole all the toilet paper, so everybody had to get shut down. You know in your house, LaLa, right? You did something wrong. Did your mom not put you on probation? Did she not put you on punishment? Even
You're
if you
on punishment.
no, even
I
if
was
you
trying to
didn't do
figure
it,
out how they put the whole state on level 3 probation. God damn.
Yo, one person made a mistake and we all had to get punished for it. That's what happened.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just
Oh man.
we just going along for more of the crap. Take the mask off. We know better.
Right.
We know better. We pretending like we don't, but we know better.
So you don't believe
Chickenpox is a virus. All these viruses, we've been taking our kids to the doctors for all these years, and they saying it's viral, got to run its course. It's viral, it's got to run its course. They don't never say if it's airborne, if you touch something. They don't even tell you that. It's just viral. It's got to run its course. And now all of a sudden, you got to put a mask on and you got to stand 6 feet apart when it's still a virus and it's still going to run its course. And if you're going to get it, you are going to get it. Ain't a mask in the world going to keep you from getting any virus at all.
Yeah,
they know that China been masked up since Michael Jackson was there. You understand? 20 years they've been wearing masks, and it still said that it broke out in Wuhan, China. They was already masked. They wear gloves. All of that stuff already takes place there. So please breathe the free air, people. Lack of oxygen affects the way that your brain functions. Take them dang masks off. That's all I'm saying.
All right, I got one last question. I got one last question. We can end it. All right, one more question, real quick. Are you getting the vaccination?
Well, I've probably already been exposed to the virus. So
no. Answer the question. Yes or no? Are you getting the vaccination?
Absolutely not.
Okay, because if I see you twitching,
no vaccination.
If I see your eye twitching and you sitting there twitching and stuff, I know what happened. You lied to me.
Listen, let me explain something to you. I'm here. I'm here in Georgia, so you know the CDC is right here.
Yeah.
And so you know that they were making the vaccines here in the same facility that they was making the tests and that they was testing it. All of this stuff is
So you better move then.
Or not the vaccine, they was making the test and they was testing the virus all in one place. Right. So they're sending out tests and the virus all at the same time. And now they want us to come line up and get a shot of the virus.
Right.
No, thank you. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I probably already been exposed and one thing I put together community immunity, which talk about your immune system, is that when you are exposed to a virus, your body automatically builds up. If you live, because they're saying that this virus kills you, if you live, your body builds up antibodies. That's the same thing that the vaccine does. They have to give you the virus so that your body builds up a defense so that if it comes back, now your body done already fought it off. But if it comes back, you already got a defense built up to it.
Right.
Why would you get it? Why would you now, a year later, anybody get a vaccine?
Well, I'll say this, and I'll say this now.
Anybody.
I ended with this. They say this is an airborne virus, right? So if they give me a vaccine in an aerosol can, like some Febreze or something like that, that I can just spray around, then we can talk. Other than
It's
that,
not
I'm
airborne.
not sticking nothing in my arm.
It's
Nah,
not airborne.
I'm good. I'm
It's
good.
not airborne.
No, because
They
we all
don't.
be
They
sick.
don't even know how to freaking is. They don't know nothing. They said it was airborne, then it wasn't airborne. We gotta read all that stuff. They don't know what it is, where it's coming from. I don't know if it's real or fake or what, but I know that mask is not going to help you. If you was going to get chicken pox, how would you not get chicken pox?
Right. True.
The only way that you would not get chicken pox is to not come in contact with somebody, and the chicken pox is not airborne. You gotta touch somebody or touch something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't always show symptoms of chicken pox. We was kids before people got chicken pox vaccine, so you wouldn't know if somebody got it. But by the time you got home, you got little pops popping up on you.
Yeah.
Did they dress us in plastic bags and put masks over our faces so that we didn't get chicken pox? No,
Yep.
they put us all in the same goddamn room and said, I hope you'll all get it this week so that we can be done with it.
Now my mom put me in bubble wrap, but that's a whole nother story.
That was after you had it.
Yeah, but still, she put me in bubble
That was
wrap.
so you ain't dig your skin up.
I'm still suing my mom, okay? I'm suing my mom for that, okay? Don't try to defeat my case, okay? I'm going to court next week, okay?
That was so you ain't dig your skin up. She was protecting you, child.
I couldn't breathe. Okay? Yo, it was amazing talking to you, though. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Yo, we gotta have you back soon because I know it's more that we gotta talk about. I want to thank everybody for watching. Thank everybody for joining. Can you give your social media if anybody want to reach out to you? You got some groups and stuff that you want to promote so people can get into?
I'm LaLa Wright on Facebook and Instagram. So if you wanna hit me up
Chew
on
her out for
Facebook
what she
or
said on
Instagram,
here.
LaLa Wright.
LaLa Ray on Instagram, Facebook. Chew her out. Don't chew me out. Chew her out, okay? If you don't like something I said, chew her out for it, okay? It's her fault, okay? Everything with today's show is LaLa Wright's fault, okay?
I will take that. Y'all can
No.
shoot me all your offenses. I'm ready.
Nah, thank you. But y'all seriously check it out. LaLa Wright. Check out the groups. Check out the education information that she offered you today. If you don't believe what she's saying, then here's what my suggestion to you is: research it yourself. The facts are there if you look for it. I'm not talking about in the history books in public schooling. Look at it. Whether she's talking about food stamps, public assistance, and the effect it has on the black community. Christopher Columbus, she just dropped a lot of education, a lot of knowledge on y'all. Take it. This is food for thought. Also, you can hit me up, Facebook, Past Present, Instagram, Alan the Great. I want to say it to you again. I don't know why I keep giving my Facebook, because Instagram is the best way to get in touch with me, Alan the Great on Instagram. If you want to talk to me, comment, like, share this video so many people can get educated, they can receive this knowledge. And until next time I see you or talk to you people, we got one thing left to say, y'all. What we say to them, LaLa?
Peace.
Peace.